and welcome everyone back to the Big Knick Energy podcast. It's our last episode before the season starts. Let's go. As always, I'm your co-host, John Kolnoski, and with me, as always, is your other co-host, Marky Capicato. Marky, how you doing today?
Doing quite well. Very excited for the season to begin.
You
Very
excited. You and me both. Last night, we're recording this on Wednesday night, October 16th, and last night was the preseason game versus the Charlotte Hornets, in which none of the starters played, and the Knicks still won pretty nicely. So yeah, I'm ready to go. I don't know about you.
Oh, dude, it's nice to see the bench they were starters yesterday, but yeah, I'm pretty hyped on this team, man.
No,
the more I watch them,
the second unit looked nuts. Precious went off. Kolek looked like he could run the show. Deuce was looking good. I'm very ready to go. Landry Shamet had a bit of an injury. I think we got to wait and see what happens there.
Have you heard any updates on that? I haven't looked up anything today.
I saw this morning one of the beat writers said he was in a sling at the practice facility, and I haven't seen anything past that.
Yeah. What do you think? It was dislocated?
Strained, separated shoulder, dislocated. We'll see. I'm not a doctor, so I'll wait for word on that. It was a weird play. It kind of like bent out. It was kind of at the end of the game there. Hopefully he's good. I mean, luckily give him some time to ease back into the rotation if needed, though. We'd love to have everybody at full strength to start the season.
Totally. Agreed. In all honesty, I didn't watch the full game. It was also Yankees playoffs, so,
It was. Let's go Yanks, 2-0. Hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, they already have a lead in Game 3 against the Guardians.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
But also in recent Knicks news breaking today, Jamal Crawford is going to be doing some games on MSG this year. Sounds like we're starting to encroach on the who will replace Clyde search. Not that Clyde is going anywhere. They were very, very emphatic that he is still here this season. But with the way last season kind of started ending and seeing Clyde spend more and more time away, especially in those winter months, kind of feels like they're looking for who's next.
Yeah, I mean, not to talk about baseball, but we kind of saw how the Yankees fumbled that with John Sterling, or the fan. I hope we win a chip before Clyde hangs up the microphone. You
and me both. Just for the occasion, let me stand up here. I'm wearing my
Booth Boys
Plays for Life shirt. Brady Clyde. Let's go. We got 25 years last year. Don't want to see Clyde go, but it was some interesting news today. Jamal Crawford's been fun, whatever he's been so far. I do like him on air. I'm interested to see how he does in games. It's fun having former Nick in on the broadcast team. Always, obviously, Clyde the same way, and others. But I'm intrigued. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, if it keeps Wally off the mic a few more times every season, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, and let's move on.
Not to knock old Unibrow over there, but,
Not trying to make enemies in New York media before we even get off the ground.
I'm sorry, Wally. I'm sorry, Wally. He's going to Tyrese Halliburton me.
Seriously, you already know that man's not going to hesitate to come after you. Why you got to go there?
Yeah, I'm not even famous. And hey.
You're famous to me, and that's what matters.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm no Tyrese Halliburton, heir to the Halliburton fortune.
Who is, though,
I don't know. Dick Cheney's kids? I don't know.
Liz?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Liz Cheney.
All right, so let's go to today's episode. We're going to, since, as I mentioned, this is our last episode before the season, we're going to hit you guys with a few bold predictions that we've been thinking about, kicking around, things that we think are going to come to pass in this season of hopefully magical Knicks basketball. Some are bold, some you might agree with, some you might disagree with. Some we drew arbitrary lines in the stand to make our point, and others, we went and saw what happened. So I think
some we're just having fun. It's like, why not?
We're always having fun here on the Big Knick Energy podcast.
That's right.
Two fun guys. What it's all about. You want to get us going with your first one there, bud?
No, you got to start, man.
All right. Well, I did the outline, so you're starting, and now we're going to be all disorganized.
I thought you wanted to switch that up, but that's fine.
You never responded. You never answered. You're getting some ugly peek behind the production curtains here, listeners.
I'm always.
I'll start. No, it's totally fine. I can start. No, I'll start it. No. Now we're there. Now we're there. Now you got the only child in me coming out, and I'm gonna start and do what I want. All right, here is my first prediction for this season. Some might say it's too low. I don't know. I think it's a tough call. Brunson and Cat are going to combine to average over 50 points a game. I was looking at some projections earlier. I saw some sites have Cat at around 23 points a game coming into the season. Brunson around 26. For those of us who are good at math, that's 49 points a game. I think that's low. I think they're going to be higher, not that much higher, because there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense and on this team. But I do think Cat's, looking at Cat 23 a game, that seems low. Brunson at 26 might be high. I think his assist numbers are going to go up this year, and his points might drop a bit. But realistically, I think Brunson at 24, Cat at 26 is kind of right there, with both of them optimistically going a shade over if the opportunities allow. Brunson and Cat over 50 points a game. There's going to be a lot of offense on this team, a lot of defense too. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this scoring kind of shakes out around the roster. I'm sure we'll see some guys go off other nights and not the next, as everybody looks to get in their opportunities. But yep, our two main guys, Brunson and Cat, over 50 a game.
I don't think that's that unrealistic. I think we got a group of guys that, it's not that typical type of team where there's mouths to feed. Yes, there are. I think Mikhail is probably third in line there to make sure that he's hovering in the upper teens upper teens. But as far as Josh Hart's all hustle. You know what I mean? He don't care if he knocks down.
I don't think Hart's going to score much at all unless he has to.
At all.
Unless it's a shot he has to take or a putback at the rim. I think he's going to be the first guy to defer on this team.
Yep. It's not like last year at times when we were thin with injury and it was like, where is offense going to, especially in the playoffs, where's offense going to come from? It's like, if Brunson and Cat are healthy, just alone on the pick and rolls that they'll run throughout a game to get when they have to get an easy bucket. How do you defend them? They're two dynamic scorers. Cat can pop a three if he wants. Jalen could cross you up if he wants. And then guess what? You got, I'm getting a little off topic, but you got OG sitting in the corner waiting to bury that corner three. So,
to a point you started to touch on earlier, and who would be the third, and it probably being Bridges. I kind of feel like Bridges will be more of when they need someone to create a little bit, it'll go to him. OG will be out in the corner for that kick out three, and when it's a catch and shoot, he'll be picking up a lot of those. I wonder if he's going to be picking up some of the Dante threes. Obviously not at the top of the key, not at the logo or anything like that, but just in terms of volume, I wonder if we see OG take a lot more threes this year when he's healthy and out there than we did in the past to make up for some of that shooting the team lost. And then, off the bench, I think it'll be mostly Deuce as the scorer, but some combination of Deuce and Kolek providing that bench scoring, and those will kind of be the three mouths depending on situations. That will be next in line after the big two.
Cool. That's actually a good segue for me to go into one of my predictions.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Deuce McBride. It's not really his name. Mr. Deuce McBride will be a finalist for the Sixth Man of the Year.
All right. I like it. I have a couple. I have a finalist prediction on my list as well. I like Deuce as a six-man finalist. I thought about that as well a bit on my list. He's going to be the guy if it's going to be anybody, I think. He's going to provide that scoring, shooting, maybe some offensive running. We'll see. We'll see what happens there, but I like it. I think if Deuce is winning the Sixth Man of the Year, that only means good things are happening for the Knicks.
For sure. And I think, obviously we've watched his career trajectory. Every year he's gotten better. You could even talk about this offseason, and make that what you will, where, we've seen videos of him working out and how good he looks. I am going to cite this, just him on the Pat McAfee show randomly draining that three. Well, it wasn't even three. It was from however far away to pay that kid's college tuition. I was like, no spot is too big for this guy.
No,
you're about to make this kid's life.
And if he's making that kid's life, hopefully he's making Knicks fans' lives as well.
That's what I'm saying.
You started to riff on his name there at the beginning of going into this, and that brought me to a very important point that I think we should talk about right now. Why is it one of Deuce's nicknames the McDouble? Kind of feels like it's sitting right there.
I mean, if he's averaging a McDouble every night,
we got Grimace in the Mets. If Grimace is going to bring good things to the Mets, can McDonald's help out the Knicks and let's get the McDouble going?
I mean, if he's averaging over 10 assists, over 10 points a game, it
McDouble,
seems like a no-brainer.
The McDouble. I like that,
dude. And then McDonald's could do like one of those hokey promotions that like, actually this is where like shittier franchises do this, where it's like free Chick-fil-A if the opposing team misses 2 free throws in the fourth quarter.
Just all free sponsors. I had a Chick-fil-A on campus. That was fun. Still not open on Sunday though.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's
losing a lot of money. I could do the math for them.
Seriously.
All right. God doesn't care. Oh, sure. No,
you're good. You're good. We're talking awards finalists. I was gonna use that to segue into my next bold prediction. Unless you want to keep going on this little riff here.
No. That just reminds me of Woj taking a coaching job. Insane. Or was it a GM job?
Isn't it like a athletic director at a college job?
Yeah, it's athletic director.
College AD job, same Bonaventure.
Yeah.
Go Bonnies.
He's in charge of bribes.
All right. It was weird. It's still weird seeing Shams on ESPN. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is odd. It's very odd. You ever wonder like how these dudes get anointed to these positions? Like, I get it's all about relationships, but like Woj and Adam Schefter are the same person for 2 different sports.
Sure.
But like when was it solidified that if anything needs to break, it gets leaked to Woj?
I mean, it's building those relationships and making sure they go to you first. That's what it is right there. It's making sure the people that know come to you with the news when it's ready to break.
He's just such a random old white guy that got the job. It's like, damn.
Fair enough.
But then you look at Tibbs and he's basically the Penguin,
I mean, that's what reporting is. It's all about developing those sources. You're talking to somebody whose mom has been a reporter his whole life. And my mom, shout out Laura Kolnaski, winner of a New Jersey Press Award of the Year recently for breaking some big Netflix coming to New Jersey news. I mean, that's what that was a couple of years ago. Not to diminish it, but I mean, that's what reporting is. It's no different in your local reporting versus the NBA. It's developing those sources and having them come to you with the information when it's ready to share.
Shout out John's mom for breaking The Sopranos 2 coming to HBO in 2026.
Yep, HBO and Sopranos definitely on Netflix.
Oh yeah, you said Netflix. Never mind.
All good. All right. Well, we're talking awards finalists. I'm not going to talk about the 6th man of the year. I'm going to talk about somebody I just briefly mentioned, and that is Tyler Kolek, who I think is going to be a Rookie of the Year finalist. I don't think he'll win the award. There's going to be other guys that are putting up too many shots and getting too many stats, especially on bad teams, or just have bigger roles based on the roster they fit into. That will win the award. But I do think if this Knicks team is operating in the best case scenario possible, that means Kolek is probably running the second unit on offense, whereas Deuce is going to be more the off-ball guard shooter coming off screens. Still running the pick and roll, still doing those things. But I think from what we've seen, especially last night for Charlotte, was incredible. This kid seems like he's a ready-to-go, ready-made point guard. I mean, to the point that if and when we lose Brunson for a game here or there, whether it's injury, rest, what have you, I think Kolek might be good enough to just slide in and be the starting point guard on this team after he gets a few weeks of run. I'm liking everything I see. I mean, maybe he'll never be an all-NBA point guard, but he is definitely an NBA-ready point guard. And I think if he puts the year together and this team does what this team can do, it's going to be hard to argue against his case to be one of the top 3 rookies this year.
So do you think, you're more of basketball as a whole. I follow the Knicks religiously, but you truly understand the game. I say that with you're my little basketball savant.
I try. I mean,
why do you think a guy like Kolek slips? Is it because teams ahead of the Knicks are looking for maybe that home run guy that's a higher risk, high reward? They're going off of intangibles, like whether it's height, whether it's leaping ability, what have you. Whereas Kolek, you kind of know what his ceiling could be, I guess. Is that fair to say? Like why he went where he went in the draft?
I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of factors in play here. It seems like he slipped surprisingly far. Sure. I wasn't as up to speed on this NBA draft as I have been in past years for a variety of reasons. But it seems like everybody's kind of surprised just how far he fell. I mean, a big thing about it and a big thing in the NBA draft now is age. I think he was a 4-year college guy, so he's coming in at 22, 23 years old. Whereas some of these guys, especially from abroad or just one and dones, are coming into 18, 19 years old. And that right there is 3 or 4 years of youth, of developmental time, and just more flexibility to craft the player into an asset that your NBA team can use.
Less mileage on their legs.
Another part of it is athleticism. You know, I don't think anybody's calling Tyler Kolek the most athletic guy on the court. And then it's just, you know, different teams value different things. Maybe some guys interview better or worse than others. You know, I think there was some benefit that Kolek played so much in the Northeast. So the Knicks probably got to see him a lot more than some of the West Coast teams did. Not that everything isn't national right now. But, you know, instead of questioning why, I'm just going to say thank you and maybe go buy a Tyler Kolek jersey before the season starts.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Try not to support. Never mind.
So, yeah, there you have it. Tyler Kolek, Rookie of the Year finalist. And that's what I'm calling right now.
Cool. I thought I accidentally hit a button.
Like the button, like 4,
I don't know.
Like 4, 8, 15, 23.
I don't know. I'm new to all this, but all right. Let me
4, 8,
jump
15,
into
16, 23, 42. Hit the button.
Oh my God! You just referenced Lost. Do we do this once a week? Somebody.
Until I'm done with the rewatch, it's gonna happen here and there.
Oh God!
I'm almost done with season 3 though, so you know.
Penny's boat. Okay. Well, now that we went off the rails a little bit there, I'm going to get us back on track. I made another just silly, I don't know, prediction. It's not even silly. It's totally plausible. And the reason I made this prediction is because I want the real prediction to come true is that OG stays healthy throughout the year. And my prediction is OG wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Let's go. I love that.
That he stays on the court for 95% of the games and the playoffs.
I love that for a lot of reasons. I don't think it's likely. And I'm not trying to step on your take's toes here. But here's why I like it. I like it because the last 2 Defensive Player of the Years have been big men. And I'm for wing defenders as Defensive Player of the Years. Give me that guy that can defend baseline to baseline, out on the wing, defend the perimeter, defend the inside. You can't take him off the ball. Give me the most versatile defender on the court as my NBA Defensive Player of the Year. That being said, I'm pretty sure for the next 15 years straight, nobody other than Victor Wembanyama is going to win the NBA Defensive Player of the Year.
Isn't the NBA so hilarious? Like, they found Wemby has their Shohei Ohtani now. Wait, the NBA has their Shohei Ohtani now. It's so fun. You could draw so many parallels between the two.
I know Ohtani got married last offseason, but now I kind of want to ship Wemby and Ohtani as like our sports couple.
That's funny. I wonder if when Topps gets full NBA rights that they'll do a dual auto of some guy.
I mean, they could. It just they could absolutely do a dual.
Oh yeah,
Ohtani Wemby auto right now. Yeah,
no Spurs jersey.
But for listeners at home who aren't into sports cards, Marky and I are very nerdy about sports cards. And if you know anything about Topps and Fanatics and the licensing deals and everything like that, it's all kind of a mess and being settled. But Topps owns all of baseball, and Wemby's exclusive to them. So in theory, they could put out a card, whether it's a baseball or basketball card, is different, that has both of their autographs on it. Absolutely. That would be an awesome card.
That would be a dope card. Man, you get like a little baguette on there and then like a sushi roll. And it's like,
maybe we're thinking too small with the card. Maybe we need a food collab with them where it's like pairing French and Japanese cuisines,
Sure, dude. Let's start a French-Japanese fusion restaurant, and let's just pay them to be let's just make them partners. Be like, yo, guys, get out on the basement. Ground floor right here, baby.
They would call it the sky's the limit with how far Ohtani can hit the ball and how tall Wembanyama is. That it kind of works.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went off the rails again.
That's the point.
Would you like to anyway, OG... It's not likely, but it's fun to dream about, and he can defend all 5 positions. Why not?
The thing is, if he does stay healthy and plays 75 to 80 games, the Knicks are one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the East. And look, I'm not betting against Wemby, especially with some of his quotes that came out yesterday or today about how he doesn't think most players in the NBA work hard enough. Because I think Wemby could win the MVP this year. People think I'm crazy for saying that. I think he might win the MVP this year. But if he doesn't make the jump everybody thinks Wemby's about to make, and, OG does just everything I just said he could do, there is a world where that could happen, especially if the Knicks are one of the top 2 or 3 defensive units in the NBA and he's leading that. I mean, Cat is a much-needed center that they didn't have 3 weeks ago after the Mitch injury, but he's not a defensive center. I don't think I don't think anybody would call him I know he's not, but I don't think anyone would say he's one of the top 10, maybe top 10, I don't know. But I don't think he's anybody would say he's known for his defense is what I'm trying to say. And OG's probably going to be guarding 1 to 5 on some nights. So maybe there's a world where that happens. And much like all of our earlier predictions, if it does happen, it only means good things for the Knicks this season. Yeah,
I mean, let's see. Cool.
All right. Well, we're doing 3 each, so this is going to be my last one, and that is that both Cat and Brunson are going back to the Big Two again. Both Cat and Brunson make all NBA teams, one of the 3 NBA teams, each of them, but neither is an MVP finalist.
Interesting.
I think this is going to be a big-time team, much like last year. I think Brunson kind of got thrust into that MVP race for a number of reasons, all well-deserved, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Between Randall's injury, OG missing so much time, other injuries, a lot of times it really was kind of just Brunson out there, and he really did have to take the lead in a way that I think we all hope he doesn't have to this year with a much stronger and deeper team to most extents. He didn't have McCall, he didn't have OG healthy, didn't have Cat. I think Cat and Brunson are really going to feed off each other, but I don't think either is going to kind of pull the weight. You got Shai coming back. John, not too many people are talking about John Morant coming back in Memphis this year. He's still got Giannis. He's still got Embiid. And now that Paul George is going to miss some time to start the season, Embiid's case can start early. There's, you still got Jokic. There's definitely Jason
Giannis.
Tatum. I think I said Giannis. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 guys I'm not saying right now that I mean to be. But yeah, I think the MVP race is going to be a dogfight this year. Whereas, not that making all NBA isn't, but I do think those 2 guys are still going to be, top 10 to 20 players in the NBA and really show off in that front for a Knicks team that needs it, while not emerging as one of maybe the top 5
to clarify, you're not saying first team all NBA. They're just making
as a matter of fact, I don't think they'll be first team all NBA.
I think
Brunson wasn't last year.
And it's not Brunson.
I hate to say it. I don't think Cat can be first team all NBA. I would love it if he could. I'm rooting for it. But I think they'll both find themselves second or third team. I think Brunson is going to elevate Cat to that third team. And I think Brunson stays on the second team where he was last year.
Cool. I see that. I actually don't even think that's a wild prediction.
And,
I see that happening.
Those NBA teams are tough. There's only 15 spots, and a lot of guys who are deserving get left off of them. I mean, a lot of times it also comes down to health and who's healthy for the full 82 or most of the full 82 to get those spots. But, there's 24 All-Stars. There's only 15 All-NBA spots. So
that's true. And how are they still doing it by position, or is
it's been positionless for a few years now?
Positionless, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? But I still agree. I don't think either one is going to make first team All NBA. Sorry,
you're good.
Having brain farts.
All good. All good. It is late. It's approaching 9:00 East Coast time. I know you've had a long day. I think you have one more, and then we could start to wrap this up. Unless there's anything else we want to touch on before we go. But if you want to give us your last prediction, by all means, go right ahead.
My prediction is totally unfounded. I don't even know who it would be, but just knowing the Knicks and the inevitability of injuries happen, things happen throughout the season. My prediction is that a former Knicks player, an ex-Knick player, will rejoin the team before the trade deadline. Also note, Taj Gibson is excluded from this prediction. So if, for whatever reason, we claim Taj off of waivers after Charlotte fucking has to let him go, that's not part of my prediction at all. So, John, what say you?
I like it. I'm a little worried about that prediction because I just read a day or two ago that Elfrid Payton's back on a roster.
Oh my God. I'm not touching that. No.
And I don't want Elfrid Payton back in New York. I can tell you that much. I didn't know who that leaves. Can't trade back for Randall or Dante anytime too soon.
My cousin Reggie Bullock.
Oh, yeah, cousin Reg. That's a little inside joke between us. To the listeners at home. But no.
I don't know, just off the top of my head, there's Burks, there's Reggie, I don't know, you need who knows? I don't know what Bogey's doing right now. Where is he at?
He was part of the trade for Bridges.
Oh, so he's still with the Nets.
I don't know if they cut him or anything like that. I don't think they did. I'm pretty sure they plan to take him in the season.
I didn't follow the Nets zero. But
why bother?
Why bother? Especially this year.
Yeah.
Or any year.
Sorry, I think it'll be interesting to see what, if any, moves this team makes from here on out in season. They're very close to the second apron, so they don't have a ton of flexibility.
Totally.
That's actually one of the reasons the Cat trade had to happen when it did. As soon as the season started, basically the cap sheet was fucked and the trade wouldn't be able to be executed. So that's why there actually was a ticking clock on it and why that trigger was pulled when it was. But now, the Knicks still have assets, still have some players, still have some picks. We'll see what needs to develop as the season arises. I mean, what happens with Mitch will be one of the more interesting things to watch as the season progresses. Sure. I don't think we'll hear a pip out of it. I know last year we clipped out the "I miss you, Mitch Robinson" part. I was thinking about that since we spoke last week. Part of me wonders if the team is like, just stay away. Just don't be here. Don't distract us. Go rehab on your own time.
Yeah.
And if you're still on this roster when you're healthy, we'll get you back in the lineup. But if not, maybe you'll be traded before then. Then again, it sounds like they've been trying to trade Mitch for 6 months and nobody wants him. So
6 months? You mean 6 years?
Well, aggressively the last 6 months, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like they were calling Minnesota every day, offering Randall and Mitch for Cat, and it just wasn't ever going to get done that way. What happens with Mitch will be very interesting to see. What moves this team makes will be very interesting to see. Just out of curiosity, so you're making this pick, you're making this prediction right now. So Jamal Crawford coming back to the broadcast booth doesn't count, right?
Yes, correct. And also him playing in the Celebrity Knick game. I don't know if you caught any clips of that.
I did see a little bit of that.
Where he just diced up scrubs and weird YouTube stars. Like, he could ball still. And then I realized he's like going up against a 300-pound man. That can't.
Yeah.
That's very winded. Yeah. So, but he's kept himself in good shape, though. So, hey, I know you're talking about him going to the booth. He's one of those guys that I look at post-career where I'm like, could you still ball? You know, JJ Redick, if he didn't take the job of like...
Crawford could come off the bench and give you 10 a game. I think no problem in like 15 minutes. I don't know how old he is right now. I'm going to throw a number out there that I'm guessing he's around 40 to 45. And I think he could still do that right now, maybe for the next 5 years, up until he turns 50.
Yeah. I think JJ is another one that whenever I see him, I'm like, he could jump in for 10 minutes a game, pop a couple threes for you when you need them most.
I'm going to be riding shotgun out here in LA to the JJ Redick Lakers coach experience.
That's going to be awesome.
And it's going to be very interesting to watch.
It's gonna be entertaining.
At some point, I wonder.
It's already entertainment.
At some point, I wonder if he just like puts himself in the game because he gets so frustrated with everybody on the team.
When was the last? Oh, trivia for next week. When was the last player coach?
Russell.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know that for fact?
I'm like 99% sure.
Baseball. Who was the last player coach?
That one I don't know. I think that one might be more recent. I think that was a thing they let happen much later than basketball.
All right. Well, food for thought.
Yeah. Food for thought. Indeed.
Actually, I'm just going to Google it when we hang up here.
That's fair. Well, I know those are all the predictions we listed out for today, but is there anything else you want to throw out there?
No, nothing. I just got to wake up at an ungodly hour tomorrow morning to get on a flight.
Oh, well, then I'll let you go. But I am actually going to throw this out there. That is that the Knicks over-under for wins came out today. 53.5. Very bullish, very high. Those kinds of numbers are only reserved for the best of the best teams. And up until a day or two ago, I was probably going to side on the under, just because I think the East got better as a whole. But then the Paul George injury happened, and he's going to miss some time to start the season. And it kind of got me thinking, that's just one domino starting to fall, and we'll see what's coming next. So, well, this might not be one of the three I came prepared to discuss. I'm going over 53.5 wins. I think the Knicks finish around 55. Fight for that one seed in the East, and let's go, baby.
I think 1,000% I agree with you. And I would have said that without the Paul George injury.
Fair.
So that's how I'm going to differentiate. Because I think Paul George didn't move the needle that much. I think it makes them better. But
I think he gives the Sixers a few more wins on nights when Embiid is hurt or not at his best. I think he adds a few regular season wins to their total there. And I think he still will. I don't think it sounds like he's going to miss significant time. But I don't know. I just keep feeling good about the way things keep lining up. And next time we talk to you, our listeners and watchers on the YouTube machine, the Knicks season will be underway. Tuesday night, Boston. We'll be back recording on Wednesday, so we'll be talking about how that game went. In the meantime, be sure to follow Big Knick Energy on Twitter at Big Knick Energy _. Be sure to follow Big Knick Energy on Instagram at Big Knick Energy _. Email us any of your Knicks questions or topics to discuss at bkepod@gmail.com. And make sure you keep listening, watching, subscribing, and reviewing the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and podcast platforms everywhere. BigKnickEnergy.com, new merch drop just hit. Be sure to check that out and grab a couple t-shirts. There's some really cool designs there, some really fun stuff. I think that covers all of the housekeeping. Maybe one.
Can I say something?
Yeah, by all means.
For everybody watching our YouTube, smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
I've always wanted to say that.
Smash it like nobody's ever smashed anything before.
Can I say that once a week? Can we leave that one part of the sign off for me? Okay.
Yeah, smash away.
Smash that subscribe button. Those followers keep our children fed, keep roofs over our, this is our jobs. So thank you.
If you look in the podcast description, especially on YouTube, you'll find Marky and I's personal socials. I'm Jon, J-O-N, Kolnoski, K-O-L-N-O-S-K-I, just one word. Marky, you want to give him yours?
You can't spell my Italian last
name. Now you got me thinking I'm talking too much after I didn't give you a chance to say smash.
At MarkyCapicotto, Marky Capicotto. Or Marky at Marky GK on Twitter, MarkyGK.
Nice.
X.
Well, that does it all for this week. Looking forward to watching this game Tuesday night. I'll probably be at 33 Taps with my Left Coast Knicks family out here in LA. Getting things going. Marky, what are you going to do for the game?
I'm going to be sitting right over there on my couch. It's off screen, chilling at home.
Nice.
Having a couple cold ones with the boys. Actually, it's just going to be me. Probably it's a work night.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll see you next week when we talk again. The Knicks will hopefully be 1-0, but the season will be underway. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll be back next week. Later.
Bye.